All right, Michaela.
Hi.
Hey, okay, so let's, long-time fan, by the way. All right, guys, we're sitting down with the GOAT, all right? Yeah, Matt, yeah, you heard that in the back or something, whatever's going on
Just
back
tell
there.
Portia.
Yeah.
Portia, did you hear that?
I'm sorry. Hey, you know, you've been in the building for a few weeks now, okay? Talk to us about initial thoughts. How are you feeling about it all?
Yeah, initial thoughts was very scary.
Yeah.
I'm someone who loves routine and loves my norm, so I had to meet a lot of new people. So I had to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and remember names and get to know new people. So that part in itself was scary without actually thinking about the training.
Yeah.
But now that we've gotten into a routine of training, I would say that I'm kind of like halfway there of calling myself a league player. I'm slowly getting used to probably like what you would say is the basic rules of getting back on side, not going for a jackal or placing the ball, like those things that are coming like...
Please do that. I want to see you get tackled in game one and just do that.
I've already voiced out loud, like the ref in our first round against the Roosters, they need to just go easy on me. Eh?
Yeah.
If I do accidentally like go for a pop offload,
Yeah.
like I'm sorry, like it's my
Habit.
natural thing.
It's
It is
habit.
my habit. So we're slowly getting into probably not thinking too hard about those movements.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're halfway there. We're nearly there, and then we can call myself a league player.
With all what you've just said, is that what you sort of expected in terms of when you did sign and you made that choice? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna cross codes here. Were these things that you prepared yourself for, or was it not until you got in the building that you started going, holy crap, okay?
I tell you what I didn't prepare myself for was the contact. Holy, like...
That's why I've retired.
Yeah, fair, bro, fair.
Yeah.
Because when you run into the shoulders of Harata Butler,
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it literally sends a shock through your soul. And it, honestly, I remember the first contact session I did, it would have been literally in the first week. I went from being on holiday, essentially, to doing full contact.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that again because my back, oh my gosh, just sent a shock through me. And I was just thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Like, why have I signed this piece of paper?
Yeah.
This is scary, but I'm slowly starting to kind of get the technical side of it. So the first couple of times I just went like straight hard up like this, but now I'm kind of getting the technique and remembering to dip a little bit more with the bigger girls, remembering I don't have to hit their shoulder, but if I hit around their ribs, then I can kind of get away with it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that sort of stuff I'm getting my head wrapped around. But yeah, it is, I can tell you now, I have mad respect for you league players because holy, it's scary. But
You hear that, rugby players out there?
yeah, you union players, you got no idea. Eh? Holy.
Not thinking about that. What, a part of your decision, how much of it was around, I guess, breaking sort of boundaries or doing something against the tide in women's sport? Like, you know, was that a big role in you chasing this dream?
Yeah, look, in all honesty, the people have to thank you in my decision because I went to your last home game against the Bulldogs, and I was there.
Jesus.
Yeah. We won't go into the game, but
thank you.
Yeah, the memory of the moment was very cool. They were
Yep.
there to celebrate you, right?
Yep.
But I was there with Sarah Hiddeny. There were a couple other Olympians that were being celebrated up in the club lounge.
Yeah, cool.
And so watching that and being a part of that crowd, I always knew that the Go Media Stadium fan base is insane.
Yeah.
Like, compared to other crowds and fans in Aotearoa, huge.
Yeah.
They are on a different level. And being a part of that was really inspirational to me. And I know they were all there to celebrate you with your last home game for the Warriors. But to me, it was like, wow, I want to be a part of this atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I want to be on that field with all these people yelling at us and the ref and the opposition.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And so that was kind of the switch for me mentally, was I want to be a part of that. But yeah, in regards to, I guess, that movement in women's footy right now, it's very, very present. You've got so many girls who are now taking that opportunity to transition into league because they want to be paid footy players, right? And that's something we have to celebrate. And if that means going from union to league or league to union, you know, we've got to celebrate the fact that there are opportunities out there for women to play rugby or league and union. So I wanted to be a part of that movement. And why not for the Warriors? Because this club and this culture is second to none. It is the cohesion, the unity. It is amazing. And I think putting on the Warriors logo is something that you can all be very, very proud of doing. And so I really wanted to be a part of history and be a part of the Warriors Wahine Club for 2025.
Good Lord. Okay. Geez, you get me excited now. Can we It's not really in the script, I don't think. But can we just go back to what those opportunities were like when you were coming through? So now you spoke about the pathways and what it looks like, right? And the opportunities. It's beautiful, right? When you were coming through, take us back to your juniors. What did that look like? What opportunities were there for you?
Yeah, kind of none, to be honest.
Yeah.
Rugby was my first sport at the age of 5 for Clifton Rugby Club, but it was two-handed touch on the hips. Ripper rugby came a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell out of the love of rugby. I went and played soccer for a bit and did athletics for a while as well. But growing up, you don't see the Black Ferns on TV. You don't see the Kiwi Ferns on TV. My inspiration was my mum. She was a Black Fern in 1992. And so I wanted to be like her and represent my country in sport. Whatever sport I fell into, that was the one I wanted to represent my country in. But as a young kid, there wasn't really like those obvious pathways to get to the top. For the men, you play club, then you get picked up for Bunnings Cup, then you might play Super Rugby, then you're in the All Blacks or Māori All Blacks, or you go overseas. It wasn't that obvious in the women's world. And so it didn't really kind of start to become obvious until 2012 when the Go for Gold campaign started for sevens here in New Zealand. So New Zealand Rugby Union kicked off a trial process around the country for any girl of any experience in rugby or in sevens could go to their regional trial. So I went to the one in Taranaki. There was about 60 of us. We did literally speed, fitness testing and some real basic skills. And then from there you got picked up into the squad. And so myself, Gail and Lauren Bayans got picked up for the first New Zealand Women's Sevens squad in 2012. And that's when it started to become a little bit more present. That's when people started to say, okay, now this needs to be something we need to invest in. But I think we need to do it a little bit more. You know, and so now that we have the opportunity to represent this club and represent this jersey, and we're on TV and it's spoken about all the time, social media is huge. We have a responsibility to now go up to those young girls or boys and say, you can be this now. And so that's where the responsibility comes in, is wearing this logo as well, as reminding those who are watching us that there are pathways now to get to this club and to get to this level.
Let's speak about Coach Ron. And you spoke a little earlier about learning the game. Yeah, what's his role been like for you, and how much are you gaining from his knowledge?
Yeah, he's obviously got a great CV. Got 2 NRLW premiership wins with the Knights. So that alone is something to want to be a part of, right? So when I first met Ron, I was kind of like, oh, what's your vibe? What's your energy? But he's just a guy who loves footy. You know, he never played professionally. He just loves the game and he understands how to coach women's teams. So to me, that was something that sort of attracted me to wanting to be with the Warriors, were knowing that the coaching group was solid and very professional and very good at what they do. He's got a very, very difficult job this year, because it's not just me that he's having to coach how to play league. There's Shakira Baker, Patricia Maliepo, Taisha Ikanasio. So there's about 5 of us who have actually transitioned from union to league all in one club. And then not only that, you've got girls who have only played club rugby here in Auckland who have been signed for the Warriors. So he's got many different hats to wear at the moment, coaching union to league, coaching club into NRLW. I think there's about 60% of our team who will debut for the NRLW this year. I don't think there's any other team who will have that stat. So for him, having that alone, on having to kind of be hard on those girls who have been in the NRLW for a while, so Shaun, Harata, Api Nichols, they know how to play league, but we're also leaning on them a little bit. But then him also being patient with us union girls and getting us back up to the level of playing league and being confident in doing so. He's been very inspirational. I love a coach who's more than happy to call someone out, who's more than happy to make us do extra fitness because we're getting a drill wrong. I'm all about it, because that makes us want to be better, and that lifts our accuracy, our want to be in the jersey. So that alone has been quite exciting to be a part of. But yeah, he's really, really good. He's very patient. We do extra meetings like a couple times a week just to go over rules, just to understand what's going on. But no, he's been incredible. So being a part of his energy and his coaching skill has been very valuable for myself.
With the standards side of things, now a few of the other boys have spoken about the impact, say, Fish has brought into their squad. Now, you're one of the, like you said, there's 60% of girls that are going to experience this for the first time, right? Or haven't played NRLW. Now, you get to build something from the ground up. You get to be a part of that. Now, you might be learning the game, but what you do know is high performance. What responsibilities are you taking there? You know, like by even talking to you, I get the feel that you're very diligent in the way you approach the game, you know, whatever you're doing. So, yeah, how are you taking that role on?
I'm actually just kind of allowing the girls to be comfortable to come and talk to me first.
Yeah.
Because first and foremost, I'm a student at the moment, so I'm learning off everyone else. So I'm asking them the questions like, what do we do in the play the ball situation? Where do I go on in this game scenario? So I'm asking them the questions, but you know, the first week I could kind of sense that the girls were a little bit too shy to actually come and say hi, which, you know, I understand, but it's allowing them to feel the confidence to come and approach me to ask questions about, you know, the outside of footy stuff, the nutrition, the sleep, the recovery, the stuff. You know, a lot of those girls have no idea what it means to be professional or what it takes to be professional. So I guess my responsibility there is to give my knowledge, but to also allow them to learn at their own pace and at their own time, because at the end of the day, we're also still trying to focus on an NRLW competition and being ready for round one against the Roosters. Piling more onto these young girls is not going to do them any good. In fact, it's probably going to fluster them and just make them panic and potentially make them forget about their talent and their special role that they have on the field. So allowing them to come to me when they need to. They've asked me multiple questions about the difference between the two environments of here and the Sevens, and there are a lot of differences. Clearly, we're full-time and high performance. This is part-time, so we're done by the day at 4 p.m. We're kicking off the day at 4 p.m. here for the Warriors. So just, you know, little things like that they don't see because of their league role. So just talking about our world, talking about what it takes to be a New Zealand representative, to go to the Olympics, to play for your country multiple times. You know, they're asking all those type of questions. So the other parts will probably come a little bit later when they see me on game day, when they see my headphones in, when they see what's on my breakfast plate, all of that stuff. So if I'll allow them to come to me when they want to, rather than me push it on them, because there's a lot of girls who are obviously just trying to get selected to play round one, in all honesty, so they can come to me in their own time. But I'm an open book. I'm seriously such an open book. I'll talk about anything and everything.
Yeah, I think she would. Hey, can you just talk to me then a little bit, lastly, but not least, were you like a sprinter in a previous life or something? What's that running style? Like, we've seen it. Or
it's very robotic.
It is pure, right? It's like powerful, it is fast, and I've got no doubt we're going to see it down the Sting at Mount Smart, right? Like you dreamt of, like you wanted to be. But where does that come from? Did you sprint as a kid or something?
Yeah. So I did athletics from the age of 5 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. That makes sense.
There was actually, here we go. Now we're getting into
the
good
good Lord.
stuff.
You got more.
We're getting into the good stuff.
How much battery you got left?
Yeah. So my first dream when I was 5 years old was to go to the Olympic Games and win gold in the 100 and 200 metres.
Yeah.
So that was my ultimate dream from the age of 5 years old. As I got a little bit older, it started to become a little bit unrealistic. And then I couldn't really quite figure out that transition of being at club all the time to having a professional coach. Not saying that my mum wasn't a good coach, she was a great coach, but I needed that extra step and I wasn't quite getting there.
Yep.
And then, you know, going to Colgate Games, going to regionals, nationals, I wasn't really quite cracking that top 3 anymore. And if you're not doing that at literally high school age, you'll struggle to catch up.
Yep.
15 was the age where I was like, oh, nah, I kind of want to focus on a different sport. I can't see me going to the Olympic Games for the sport. So I then transitioned to soccer, focusing more on soccer, and then Go for Gold campaign started 6 months later. So yeah, athletics it was my first sporting love, really, athletics. I loved the feeling and the atmosphere. I loved the idea of it just being you and your lane and not worrying about anyone else around you, just focusing on you and your sprint. So yeah, when I watch people like Zoe Hobbs, you know, she's inspirational. She actually was the reason why I quit athletics, because she beat me. So I was like, okay, sweet.
She's retiring people, is she?
I'm retiring from athletics because I lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price was the person that I looked up to in the athletics world, because she was my height. She's actually smaller than me. She's shorter than me because she's my Olympic bestie. And she was the one where I was like, I want to be just like her and win the 100 and 200 metres at the Olympics. But thank you, Zoe, for beating me, because now I have 2 gold medals in sevens instead of 100 and 200. So thank you, sis.
Nah, thank you very much for your time. That was
worries.
unreal.